Hi everybody. So it is the time of all of the sales hitting all at once. And one thing I want to say before we delve into this video, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all these sales, the pre-Black Friday sales, the pre-Black Friday sales. Look, there's always going to be sales. And I've said this before. If you want to buy something, if you've had something on a wish list for a long time, if it's something that you really love and you want to get it and it's 25% off because it's just great sale, absolutely take advantage of the sales. That's what we should do. We should take advantage of the sales. However, I know how hard it is when you see all these sales and you feel like I must buy something, I must take advantage. Take a look at what you really have used this year. Take a look at the things that you already have in your collection. You're gonna find, I think more often than not, that although the new thing is pretty and shiny, you have something very much like it. So what I always try to do is do like wish lists, or I put together, like even for my perfumes, I literally have a list in my office of all the perfumes that I want to collect, over time. And when a new perfume pops up that I really love, I go look at my old list and go, oh yes, but I still haven't gotten this one or this one. And then I can kind of rationalize whether I do want to pick up this new shiny thing or I want to wait for the thing that I've been, looking for some time. So I say that because I am going to talk about a sale today. I do have a special code. It'll be at the end of the video. There'll be timestamps so you can go right to it. But I want to make it clear that although I absolutely do support these sales and I think it's great that there are sales this time of year and I take advantage of them, I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to, put together a sale list to push you into buying things that you don't need. Here on the channel, I really try to, review and go through products so that you know what's worth it if you really want to pick them up. But again, there's always going to be a new product. There's always going to be a new shiny thing. And if you're having difficulty, and I know a lot of us do, trying to keep it in check with all these sales, go back to those wish lists, go back to those things that that you're looking at that you want to get. And remember, there's going to be sales, there's going to be lots of sales, and most of these things will come back. Okay. With that little disclaimer, today we are talking Chantecaille. I have the best of Chantecaille. I'm going to go through all the products. I have them on my face today. I already did my makeup because this is more about the brand and I want to talk about products and I want to talk about things that I think are absolutely worth picking up in the sale. I am going to have a special code at the end of this video. If you use this code, you will be able to access the sale before everybody else. Chantecaille was kind enough to give me this code. They work with a number of different influencers and they give them codes so they can give them to their audience, and then you can use this code to start shopping the sale the 19th. Now the sale actually goes live the Black Friday, 11/23, but the early access is for 4 days, 11/19 to 11/22. 25% off site-wide, the whole site. So what I'm going to do is walk through the things that are some of my favorites, the best of. There's a lot. Chantecaille has a lot of great products. And I would say that I'll also have something on Instagram on the 19th that talks about my top picks, But I wanted to do this video to talk about like some of my favorites before the sale goes live so you can put together that cart, that wish list, so that when you see the sale, you don't get so excited that everything's 25% off, buy things that you don't necessarily want or need. First, I want to talk about skincare. Now, I don't have the skincare here in front of me, but I've done lots of videos with Chantecaille skincare, including some lives with some of their essays. So I'll make sure that I put up those videos so you can take advantage of those. The Chantecaille skincare, there's a lot that I love. The moisturizers are excellent. There's a clay mask that's one of the only clay masks that I feel comfortable using because it's not too drying. It's great. There is the rose oil, which is phenomenal. The spray, the spritz, which I do have like, I don't know how many bottles of that. Like the Rose de May, like I have like bottles everywhere, and I've given bottles to my sister, I've given bottles to my mother. It's great. That's a great product. And I will make sure that I have down below a list of skincare products that I think are absolutely worth trying. But the one that I did want to mention today, because I actually wear this a lot, and I don't really mention it, I guess. This is the Radiance Elixir. And this is literally dropper like this. put it like that, and then you can put it on your skin. Now you can put this underneath your eyes to give your eyes a little bit of radiance. I tend to put it all over my face, and the reason I put it under my face is because my skin is dry. As my sister does, you can also mix this with your foundation and get more of a radiant, dewy look. So, you know, it's really multi-purpose. I don't think it's a problem for people who have oilier skin. I don't know about really oily skin. I can't speak to that, but normal, little oily, dry skin, it works really, really well. And so it just gives a really nice radiance to the skin, a healthy glow to the skin. It's light, it's not too heavy, so you're not gonna feel like, you know, you have something on your skin. Doesn't feel like that at all. And like I said, you can mix it in with your foundation. So this is a really great product. This is 1 fluid ounce. I've had this one for a really long time. You don't go through it super fast. Like, you don't need a lot. So this is something that I would recommend to pretty much everybody. The foundation, the favorite foundation is, and I've mentioned this many, many times, the Future Skin. I have it in Aura. I also have it in Alabaster. I can mix depending on, you know, the time of year, but I won't go into too much detail about that because I've talked about it so many times, but it's a gel-based foundation. It's very soothing. It has a little bit of coverage to like maybe light coverage depending on how you use it. It's just a really beautiful foundation. It makes your skin look healthy and glowy and it plumps a little bit, but it's not full coverage definitely. So if you're looking for something that's gonna cover every, you know, that's not gonna do that. But it's just a really easy foundation to use. It's a very healthy looking one. It's one of those things that I default to practically that foundation and then the Chanel #1. Like the Chanel #1 and that. There's similar foundations actually in the way they look. Those are the two that I always use. So let's talk about what else I have on my face. Bronzer, I have the Goer bronzer. Now this bronzer is a little deep for me. I've had this for years and I still haven't made a dent in it. I do use it like quite often, but I don't know, it's like this gel baked kind of thing. It's a gelée baked. And so you just need a really little amount, and especially if you're pale like I am, you know, you don't use a lot, but it's a great bronzer. There's a couple of different shades. The Go is the one that works for me, but you know, I have to say, like, it's a really good bronzer. The powders that Chantecaille does, they're very finely milled. They're extremely good. So I would say of all the products, like if I could only pick like 2 categories, I'd say go for the powder products that they have and the skincare. Again, I love the foundation, but if I could just go to 2, those would be the things. The highlighter is from the Precious Metal collection. And this is the powder that was actually the illuminating powder, so you could use it all over your face. But I use this as more of a highlighter. It's a really nice highlighter. You can see the gleam there. It's really beautiful. And I love the packaging on this. I've talked about it when I talked about the Christmas collections. I mean, look at that. It's just beautiful. They did just a beautiful job. And again, their powders are excellent. I really like the way this looks. It's going to give you this gorgeous gleam, but it doesn't accentuate texture like some of the Chantecaille, some of the Chanel Holiday did. Chanel Holiday looked really pretty, but it was so glittery. This is not like that. This is shimmery, but it's luminescent. It's a beautiful light powder. And for 25% off, that's a really good deal because it's a brand new collection. The blush is actually from last year's, and this is the Blush Lumiere Lotus, the Radiant Blush that came in this type of packaging, which I have mentioned, did not love this packaging compared to this year. And the blush actually broke, but still, it works just fine. So this blush is actually a favorite of mine because it's a very light, luminescent blush. For somebody who has a deeper skin tone, it is not going to work because it's very light. But I would say for somebody who's like me, who wants a luminescent but works for mature skin and doesn't have a lot of pigment, it's perfect. What I would say for everybody else, the other blushes that they have, the small blushes, they're phenomenally good. I have every single one of them, and Butterfly is probably my favorite. But honestly, just the blushes, the powder blushes that they have are just great. Then on my eyes, I have 2 products on my eyes today. I have the matte eyeshadow in Bay. So this was the one that came out for fall. It's got the horses on it there. There we go. And this is the deep brown shade. And I have that in the transition and the outer corners of the eye. It's a really good, like, it's a good brown. And then on the eye itself, from the Precious Metal collection, I have the Radiant Gold Eye Shimmer. And this is, again, the packaging, which is incredibly cool. And then the product that's inside. It has like a pink gold shift. It's a beautiful, beautiful shade. And depending on what you pair it with, it's going to look a little bit more gold or a little bit more pink. Pairing it with the matte shade Bay, you get more of that gold. But again, you can make it look more pink if you did something like a cooler shade. Liner is in Jasper. And I know a minute ago I said powders and skincare, but their liners are so good. Their liners are so, so good. I wish they would introduce more colors. I have every shade. This is Jasper, which is a great shade. They're all great. Olive Brocade is beautiful. I mean, honestly, guys, I've talked about them in previous videos, and I'll put those up as I said, but the liners are really good. They stay, like, even if you try to wipe them off with a microfiber towel, they, you know, they're on there. They're phenomenally good. They're super smooth. They go on really easy. You can smudge them, but then they're going to be on there for the rest of the day. The only thing I like more than them is the Chanel waterproof, but these are a very close second. They're just phenomenally good. And they are super smooth. They're not as soft as the Victoria Beckham's, but they also last longer than the Victoria Beckham's. So, you know, depends on what you're looking for. Mascara. Of course, I have the Chantecaille Longest Lash Mascara. So I buy this, I've been buying this for years. I get them on sale at Nordstrom when they do the 2 for whatever, I forget the 2 for whatever sale that they always have, the anniversary sale, but I need to pick up some this year, so I have to get some more. But this is the mascara that I feel is, if I had to pick an all-around mascara, again, only one, I would pick this one. It's not as lengthening or as volumizing as some of the mascaras I have, although it does do both. It is lengthening and volumizing, but it's not as much as, say, like the Calorie stays on forever. The Dolce & Gabbana is a little bit more volumizing. There's a few. But what this does that none of them do is this reconditions my lashes. It literally makes my lashes feel better over time. So, and it does lengthen and, you know, volumize at the same time, and those others don't. So if I could only pick one, I would pick this. It is not an inexpensive mascara. It's like 70 some odd dollars because of the peptides that are included in there. So I always buy it on sale. I just would be honest. So I will be picking it up in the sale because I need another one. I don't know why, but I either lost 2 of them or I don't know where. Maybe I gave them away. But anyway, my favorite mascara. It's really, really that good. And then on my lips, I have Liner in Tone. Again, liners are excellent. This one is my favorite. It just, I mean, it's a good rosy brown. I don't know what else to say, but it's a really good liner. It's totally worth getting. I find myself reaching for that one a lot. I have the Lip Chic. Is it a Lip Chic or a Lip Veil? Sorry, Lip Veil. I just want to check. This is Tamarind. I really like the shade. It's like one of my favorite shades, but the lip veils and the lip cheeks, there's so many of them. There's so many to choose from, honestly. And I have like every single one that's been introduced in the last 4 years, probably. Yeah, 4 years, which is a lot. Yeah, but I do love them. And then I have the lip gloss over in Blythe, just to give it a little bit of shine. Because I mean, it's already shiny, but I do like it. And then powder, I'm going to put on for you. This is the Radiant Glow Blur Powder. Say that 5 times fast. Put a little on. I think it really gives a nice glow, but a very slight radiance to the skin. It does blur. I just think it looks really nice. Like I said, I think the Chantecaille products are really good for that radiant, healthy, dewy almost, without being like too dewy kind of look, for if that's what you're kind of going for overall. I'm looking at the site right now just to see if there's a couple things. There is a Longest Lash Duo box set, 2 full-size tubes of the Longest Lash mascara for $106. So I need to add that to my cart because I need to. So I'm going to get those. Like I said, they do have the bronzers, the highlighters, the lip chic, all of those things. The Wild Meadows Quartet is on there. I do like that one, by the way. That's a really good one. Looks like a couple things are out of stock, so I don't know if they'll be there. Hopefully they'll be there for the sale, but we'll see. And that's another thing about being, you know, being able to access the sale before it goes live. Things do sell out every year. So the sooner you can shop, the better, because then you can get a hold of things before they do possibly sell out. I just want to see, they do have the Rose Face Tint in stock. That is worth buying. The Peptide Infused Radiance Cream, that's kind of like the Radiant Elixir, but it has a little bit of pink to it. That's worth getting. And that was out of stock for a while. So that's nice. I'm glad they have that. I will have a list down below. If you have any questions for me as you're shopping the sale or putting together your carts, certainly let me know. I'll answer as much as I can. It is easier for me to answer generally over on Instagram because it pops, like I can see it. And if you're a member on Patreon, because the way YouTube works is like you put your comments in and sometimes it'll like tell me that there's a comment and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. It happens with Instagram as well. With Patreon, if you put in a comment, like I see it immediately and I'm like, oh, I can respond directly to that person. It's harder in YouTube, and I'm not exactly sure what's happening. And sometimes I also hear that people are being unsubscribed from the channel. Like they've been subscribed for years and they go back and they're like, oh, I'm not subscribed anymore. So if there is something like specifically you want to ask me about that's sort of time sensitive, I would suggest pinging me on Instagram so I can get back to you hopefully soon. So I think that's it. Okay, here is the code. It's going to be really tricky here, guys. So you know, pay really close attention, and I'll have it down below. The code is Jennifer25. Yes, my name and 25, all one word. Now again, it goes live the 19th. So when this goes up, and this is going to go up later in the day on Saturday, the sale isn't live yet. The sale goes up tomorrow, but you will have early access for 4 days. So hopefully, you know, that gets you some time to get the items that you want. I would expect the Precious Metal collection to sell out first because it's new. So that's the thing I would say. Plus, Chantecaille did have their Singles Day sale, which I mentioned on Instagram, which was you get one thing, you get another thing off at 25%. So people might have already started buying this. So I just wanted to put that out there. If it's not there for the sale, you know, don't worry. These products are at other retailers and hopefully they'll have sales as well. Barney's is gone. Bergdorf's is having a huge sale right now. You know, Nordstrom there's so many different sales going on, like I said at the beginning of this video. So, you know, don't panic if you can't get what you want at this particular sale. There will be other places that carry these products, and I'll make sure that I talk about them and try to post them over Instagram. I am going to post sales. I am going to let you guys know when sales are popping up. Again, though, I want to reemphasize that, you know, it's important to keep it all in check. And I know this time of year can be stressful for a lot of folks, including myself. So, you know, if I can be helpful pointing out like 1 or 2 things that are the best of something, and that helps you kind of figure out what you want to spend your money on, hopefully, you know, hopefully I can do that. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.